had a moment when you have felt so lit up and so alive in doing something that brings you joy. And that feeling can be felt every living second of your day when you're connected to your body.
I'm Elaine Whae. I'm an actress, dancer, model, and breathwork coach. Yeah, does not know how to stay on one side. Feel into that space right underneath you and allow your weight to just be held by the floor. Every day looks so different, but I think that the most important thing for me is having a consistent morning routine. So what that looks like for me is I always start out with meditation or breath work. Then I will do some free writing, some journaling, and I try to maintain space away from any type of technology. So I don't go and check my phone first thing in the morning. I make sure to check in with myself before I check in with others. And after I make sure that my quiet time has been completed, my day looks different. Sometimes I go to set, sometimes I go to rehearsal, sometimes I have a client that I have to have a session with, either in person or online. So it usually varies depending on the day, but I like it that way, and I like it to be kind of spontaneous and different every day. Honestly, I feel like breathwork found me. I was in a very transitional stage in my life. A lot of things were happening in my personal life, my professional life. Things were happening in the world. We were in the middle of a pandemic. There was just a lot of change, and I didn't realize how much change affected me. And I noticed all of these different parts of me coming up, and I started kind of diving into that very deep inner personal work. And I went to therapy. I read a lot of self-help books. I attended a lot of just speeches and tried to really turn to the knowledge of others to figure out what it was that I could do to better myself. And breathwork found me. I was introduced to breathwork at the very beginning of class one day, and within just 5 to 10 minutes of tapping into my breath, I felt so deeply embodied, and I was like, whoa, this is a new feeling. I need to lean into this. And that little just seed that was planted unlocked so many doors for me. I began hearing breathwork everywhere in all these conversations. I started seeing it on social media, and it was kind of the sign from the universe that breathwork was supposed to be that door I was supposed to open, and I was supposed to share that with others. Through that, I was able to find my mentor, Samantha Skelly, who introduced me to Pause, which is a company where I got facilitated and certified as a breathwork facilitator. Something that not a lot of people think about is that your breath is so powerful, and it's something that comes naturally to you, but you don't have to even force it. And your breath is the one thing that is consistent from you from the day that you're born to the day that you die. And it is so interwoven into our daily lives that we don't give it a chance and we don't think about it and its power. But when we're able to really focus an intention on our breath and learn how to incorporate different breath blends to either move an emotion or to move an energy, you become so much more in control of your emotionality. And the best part about it is that it's not complicated at all. It's literally your breath. All you have to do is focus your intention on it. Everything in my life has felt so aligned since breathwork. I feel like it was the one seed that had to be planted in order for everything to feel connected. As soon as breathwork was introduced to me, I started getting so many opportunities, doors opened for me. I started noticing that I had all these opportunities to just be grateful for the life that I was given. And after I started shifting my perspective and started looking at things in a different way, I noticed that there were so many gems in all these hidden places that I just didn't look at. I've been able to feel, I've been able to see, I've been able to just see the world from a different lens, a lens of gratitude and lens of love. Now, after just opening up to the wisdom of my body and feeling into what my breath has been able to move I now feel free. I now feel open. I now feel alive. Old Elaine was wrapped up in comparison. She was wrapped up in judgment. She always needed validation. She needed structure. She did not know how to be spontaneous. She didn't know how to think on her own 2 feet. She kind of it's like she needed a manual to follow all the time. And new Elaine doesn't care what you say. New Elaine loves herself unconditionally, wholly, and sees life as a blessing. New Elaine now can live from a space of openness. She's able to be spontaneous and not have to be in control. She's able to just surrender to something much bigger than her. She's able to trust. This overwhelming, deep-seated feeling of trust is the one thing that has changed. And I know it sounds so cheesy, but I have truly embodied this space of just wanting to be the light that others need. And new Elaine feels everything so deeply, but in a beautiful way. That's it. If you feel the need to stretch, you feel the need to shake, honor your body's cues. That's it. Beautiful job. I truly see my calling as being the one to merge the breathwork, wellness, healing world with my entertainment, acting world. I feel like there is this gap that needs to be bridged there. There are so many entertainers that have this emotionality that they don't know what to do with. They feel trapped, they feel stuck, and they don't have an outlet, or they don't have a release for that emotion, and they don't know what the root of it is. And in order to heal that, in order to get to know themselves better, in order to find their way back to their root, they have to find their breath. Let that energy release. Let that energy release. You are so safe. You are so safe. I'm right here. You are so safe. Trust your breath. Trust your breath. Breathwork is necessary for everyone, but specifically my niche is creatives because that's what I am. I am a creative person. I think that everyone is creative in some way, but those that are focused on making that a living, they focus on it every single day. They focus on every second of the day. And that can be very overwhelming. And I know how overwhelming it can get, and how in your head you can get, and how sometimes those emotions can't be explainable. You can't understand them yourself. So that's what breathwork is for. Breathwork is meant for us to just find more clarity in the body and understand truly what our body is feeling. Taking a deep inhale and release. Another big deep inhale in. A lot of times we go about our daily lives just stuck up in our heads, and we are not connected with our bodies at all. And it isn't until you're actually able to take a step back and pay attention to your breath where you can actually see how it is deeply connected to your emotionality and your physical senses and your physical body. So breath work, it's this one thing that connects everything that we don't focus on. And it is such a deep, ancient, self-healing modality that is so powerful. It is the number one way to connect you with your body and connect you with remembering who you are and what that inner wisdom is that your body holds. I had a client who came to me when she knew that there was just something missing. She had this amazing life, but there was this one piece of her that felt like it was disconnected. And so coming to me, she didn't really know what we were going to be doing. She kind of came to me with no expectations, which is where she was supposed to be. And she was able to fully trust me to guide her into that healing space. And just within one breathwork meditative session with me, her body felt things that it had never felt before. So one of the beautiful things about breathwork is it actually instills some physical and emotional responses to actually help you release and push out that energy. So she felt it all. She was crying during her session. She was laughing during her session. Her hands clamped up into what is called tetany, which is just that that restriction of energy moving through the body. Her mouth tightened, and I knew that in that moment when she was feeling that tightness and that restriction, her body was struggling to find a way to release itself. Her body had gotten to this space of remembering, but not knowing how to heal. So that's where I came in. I was able to help guide her to push that energy out with releasing through shaking, movement, sound, sounding out, sighing out that energy. So for me, movement, breath, and sound are the top 3 pillars of why I do breath work, because those are the beautiful ways to help us move our energy. This entire session was done through Zoom. It was done virtually, and I was able to guide and support and help her move that energy just through this little screen. So what's beautiful about breathwork is that it can be done anywhere, at any time. And I hold these sessions both virtually and in person.
Feeling that beautiful feeling of being free, rising above all of the stress and anxiety.
It's energy work. So with energy, you're able to feel it. And what that means is you might feel this tingling in your hands, rushing down your legs, in your chest. Sometimes that breath will guide it to a pocket that maybe feels some contraction. So you might feel some tightness in some spaces. The specific term is called tetany, but we like to call it lobster claws or crab claws. So it looks kind of funny and feels kind of funny in the body, but it's perfectly safe. All it is a contraction of the extremities. So you might feel it in your hands. Your fingers might curl up in a ball, or they might splay out and feel like they're stuck in this way. Sometimes your toes will cramp. Sometimes you'll notice the tightening around your lips, so it feels like you can't even move them. And all that is the energy trying to release. So in that way, whenever that happens for you, a beautiful mantra or just intention to have is, what is it that I'm holding on to? What is it that I'm not speaking about that I need to release? What is it that I'm grasping onto with my hands energetically that I need to just free, that I need to let go of? Sometimes you just need to kick your legs and move your body to shake that energy out, because it's your body physically holding on to something that it needs to let go of. So for example, when her hands were all tightened up, usually that means that there's something in her past or maybe something in her subconscious that she's not letting go of. So really digging deep down and consciously thinking, okay, what is it right now that I'm holding on to in my life? Maybe it's shame, maybe it's guilt, maybe it's judgment. What is it that I'm holding on to? Maybe it's even a specific occurrence that like she can't let go of. What is it that she needs to let go of in order to free herself? Also with her mouth, a lot of times, anytime there's constriction in the mouth or in the throat, it's because you're not speaking up about your wants and your needs. Maybe there's something that she's holding back speaking about because she's afraid. Maybe there's some fear in there. Maybe there's some shame in there. So actually thinking about and letting yourself express through humming, through sounds, through sighs can really help show the body that it's okay to release. So what was so beautiful after the session was she was able to actually come face to face with her fears and understand what it was that she needed to release and what it was that she needed to let go of in order to find more clarity in what it was that was holding her back. So to set up a session with me, the first step would be to just set up a free discovery call with me, just to get to know these new clients, get to know the ins and outs of what makes them them, and what their wants and their needs are. Sometimes speaking about some of the things that they don't know how to process or they don't understand. So this discovery call is really meant for us to just get to know each other. And then after we've kind of gotten that discovery call in, I actually introduce a little bit of free integrative breath just to get you to feel what the breath can do for the body. So what the integrative breath is, it's just a very gentle, calming way to bring clarity to your body. So my integrative sessions are actually built around either energizing and activating energy or releasing and grounding. So there's a beautiful way of moving that energy in different ways just based off of the blends that we do. So the integrative sessions are usually about 30 minutes, and we do it in a seated position, and it's very gentle and calm, and it's meant to just give you that initial boost of what that breath can do for your body. And then I also hold meditative sessions, which are more of a healing and transformative space. So what those meditative sessions look like are, they are 60 minutes. We do them lying down in a very sacred healing space. We usually light some candles, have crystals, have all the things that make you feel comfortable around you. And we start out usually with a body scan or a guided meditation, and then I move you through some deep meditative breath blends that help you really uncover some of those trapped deep layers that are deep in your body. So through that meditative breath, we're able to help release that emotion through physicality, through the breath, through sounds. And then after the meditative portion, I give you some space to just be introspective with your body and what came up for you. So that can either look like journaling, or if you want to talk about something and understand why something came up for you, maybe if you had a vision or you had some feelings, or sometimes I'll just let you lie in a meditative state and see what your body needs. Please take it easy.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, noted.
I was like, I don't think I can take it any other way right now. Look at my body. I'm like, I can't.
Typically, most of my clients, if they don't know me personally, I have someone refer them to me. So a lot of my referrals are great because I like to gift my referees with a free session as well, if they refer their friend and they sign up for a session with me. Breathwork is so important because it is the one thing that people overlook, and it is the thing that keeps us alive. It's the easiest way for the mind to unlock and for our body to come online. I'm sure you've had a moment when you have felt so lit up and so alive in doing something that brings you joy. And that feeling can be felt every living second of your day when you're connected to your body. So that is the feeling that I want to instill in everyone.